Hi traders, welcome to the week ahead. There's not a lot on offer this week. You would have seen the volatility pretty much disappear out of the market, and that's pretty normal for this time of year. Over the European or northern summer, things tend to be a little bit quieter, so be aware of that. It doesn't mean to say that the market won't move, because the market does move. You just got to be very patient, and from my perspective, you need to have a really good divergence between weakness and strength, and either separating or coming together, because we need petrol in the tank. If we're, if you see a breakout or you get an entry on your strategy, you need to know that it's got a little bit of momentum, at least to get 10, 15, 20 pips out of it. The big long moves, you won't get a lot of those over the next few months until we start coming back in to September, October, but sometimes they are there. So we just have to be diligent and we have to be patient. Let's get the housekeeping out of the way. We do understand this video is for educational purposes only. It doesn't give financial advice, not qualified to. Any actions that you may take regarding trades or investments, you take full responsibility for, and agree not to hold the distributors of this video series liable for any of the information shared on this video. That's that out of the way. Quick look at the economic calendar before we get cracking. Lagarde is speaking Wednesday. There's not a lot. From my perspective, there's a fair. It's fairly light. I mean, there are inflation stuff, a lot to do with the states, but in the current market conditions, it would have to be radically different or radically bad or radically good to make any long-lasting impact. That's just my perspective. I'm going to be very interested to see what New Zealand comes out with in terms of their financial stability report. That's one I'm going to keep an eye on, and want to particularly have a look at to see where Aussie's at with the private capital expenditure quarter on quarter. We've got Power at the end of the week, but I'm not even going to bother to get up to listen to him. I think it's just more of the same out of all this data coming out of the US, particularly with inflation readings and stuff. Like I said, nothing to write home about. Let's get right into the charts. And as I said, there's not a lot. This was the range that the Aussie CAD was in, and it popped out of here. I know some of the traders got a little bit of a run on that. It appears that it's retesting, but until it forms a decent candle, an engulfing candle or a morning star or something that gives me a hint and shows momentum. And while we're on the subject of the momentum, for the last few months, I've been using the strength indicator here on TradingView. Now, I won't go into all the details. It takes a little bit to get, but you're looking for pairs that are going wide or coming together, like the euro is the weakest, obviously, here. I set it on the hourly time frame, and if the US, for example, started to dip down strongly and the euro was dipping up strongly, that would suggest to me that there's a little bit of momentum and they might be coming together. Or if you've got a pair down here, like here's the CAD, that orange one there, it left the euro AUD and went up quite strongly, and in that period there's a little bit of momentum for 20-30 pips. So I'm not using my main template as much as I was, because the market conditions have now changed. So now I adapt for the what we call the winter months here, and the northern summer, obviously in the northern hemisphere. So that's a bit of a diversion and digression, but you need to find something that can give you a clue that when you break out or you get a bull signal here, you know, I would like a bull candle to form and then take out this high. That's how I'd play it. I would be looking for a pending order up in here once I started to see a bullish move starting to form off this level. And you can go down to a 4 or hourly chart, whatever you like. So no trade. Aussie Swiss is the same, still locked in the range. Aussie JPY, we had this little move down off the top. I took some of that. I still have it open. I think in the big picture you've got 1, impulse 2, and we could see a move down into here. But at the moment, I've got my profits protected from taking it off the top, and I'm just going to hold it. If I get stopped out for just a few pips, I think I'm break even plus, you know, 2 or 3 pips on both positions, and that's fine. If it doesn't go, I get stopped out, that's fine. I haven't lost anything. Aussie New Zealand. This little move down here was good. So you notice the levels up here. You know, this was an issue when it last came up here. It came up here again, and what have we got? We've got an issue here. It's bounced off the top. So I just look for a good candle formation, which was right in there, and just put a pending order in there, and I'd closed the trade because it had come down, broken this key level here, and started pulling back. I was already in break even with it, and just took my profit when I saw it breaking back up here and pulling back. So we have to wait now to see what happens on that pair. Aussie USD, looks like it's still stuck in this range, and took a little bit of money off it from the top here again because it was forming a bearish signal. Started to see some weakness in the Aussie dollar and a bit of strength on the US. So I went down to a lower time frame and was able to get in. I can't remember, it might have been the hour that I went down to. Yeah, it was up in here, and just took it because the impulse was there. The divergence of weakness between the US dollar and the Aussie was there, and was able to get a few pips out of it. CAD Swiss, there's no trade there. We can take a quick look, but again, look, just range bound, and we've been talking for weeks about this being the key area if we're going to get a significant move up, and in the current climate I don't think that is going to happen. Same with the CAD JPY, not expecting anything. We did have a little breakout here, and I was hopeful, but I'm not interested in trying to take it north unless I get a good strong candle engulfing or good bullish candle past this point. Then I would be in. Pound Swiss, there's nothing there, just range bound. Euro AUD, looks like it's just going to continue in this range after this move down, and we just have to wait and be patient. If the Aussie weakens significantly too much, we might get a little lift in here. Technically, my expectations would be a bit of a pullback. We got a bit of a pullback in here, but it didn't, you know, it came up to this point of resistance in here, and then just turned and went back down. So, you know, that it's just, it is what it is. So we just, no trade. Euro CAD, I can waffle on and just waste a lot of time. There's no trade on the Euro Canadian. Euro Swissy has been good, and some traders were in that and managed to get it there, but it's stalled again. This was a key inflection point along here. It's come back under this resistance area. Just because there's an engulfing candle there wouldn't instill a lot of confidence for me to get short in this. I want to get long in it, but I think we're going to be stuck in a range. So no trade. Euro pound, very similar. That was the play up here, obviously. We've had this major pullback here, and we've retested this area in here. This is very strong, the support in area here. So any breakdown here, I'm you know, if I got an engulfing candle, bearish, I might be tempted to have a little go on it, but I'm not expecting any great moves on this pair. For it to be significant in terms of a bear move, it would have to break this level out here. So any move up in here, bearish, I'll be taking profit at this level. Euro JPY, we had a move up, was looking promising. But again, you can see the point of inflection here where prices reacted in the past before. Real simple to see. And you know that I don't take too much notice of support and resistance lines on time frames, lower time frames. So my guess would be a bit more sideways, I think. And probably, I mean, we can get a retest in here. Very easy. So no trade, stay away from it. Nothing on the Euro ZE again. We need some either some massive strength on the Euro or some strength on the New Zealand, and it's just ranging in here. So be patient. The trades will come to you. Now this is one that I am looking at the moment, and for me, this is a good candle formation off the top. And I would be interested in a little scalp today, and I have not done it yet, but I would be probably looking at putting a pending order somewhere in here. Now the key, the criteria for this will be the strength indicator. Now I showed you this before. Right now the Euro is weak and the Aussie, the USD is strong, but it's flat. See, it's just flat. So there's no impulse moves going on. You know, we'd want the US dollar to be screaming up and this screaming down. So I'd prefer that these two come together a bit, and then if there's going to be a separation, that'll be the time to get in. But that is a possibility this week, maybe. Pound AUD, we've had this wonderful move down, still holding second position on the original trade from way up in here, and holding the second position off this one. Profits are well protected, obviously, and now if this 1.88 area holds, there might be a possibility of getting another crack at it, you know, off some candle formation like this here. I don't know whether it can do that, but they've been the trades of the year, these two positions for me. And I like it when I get into the area of strength on a trade, and it's just managing it. So let's see what happens. And a classic example, originally I was going to take my second position off from here and from here, but because what I was seeing on the strength indicator at the time, I chose not to and haven't, and I've just kept drawing my stop loss down manually. I've already drawn it down to just in here. Doesn't matter if I get stopped out because I've made my money. So pound Swissy made a little bit of a move down again week before last, and then it's just ranged in here. I am so keen to get north on this, but I don't think we're going to get any significant trades on it until all the dust has settled. They've made an agreement or not made an agreement around Brexit. But I think there's going to be some good trades in the pound pairs, but not yet. Pound caddy, look, it moved down, not last week, but the week before, and then it's just looks like it's finding a bottom here. This would be a good area for a scalp up, a couple of hundred pips in it. So I'm keeping an eye on that as well. Pound JPY, nothing. This was the break I was looking for in this area last week. Didn't get it, so I just stayed out of it. No, I'm not going to risk my capital. So now we'll see that. We'll see. This is possibly where it might bottom, or it could break that. But Nothing doing at the moment. Pound New Zealand, nothing doing. There was the trade there, and take profit area for the second position was here. So this, we just stay now out of it and wait. A bit of a trend line down in here, and a break of this area here could be a good place to maybe take it long again. We'll have to wait and see. Pound USD. Here's this M-shaped thing I pointed out a few weeks ago. It did come down a bit, but it, again, this is typical of patterns, and typical of the current condition. Normally this would have fulfilled and profit would have been down in here somewhere. Right now I'm looking to see if I want to get in the London on Friday. I did take a move in here for a few nickels and dimes, but even if we start to get a good bearish signal here, I'm going to play it safe in terms of a longer term trade, and I'd want to see a break of this area. Nothing on the New Zealand caddy. It's come back up and tested here. This seems to be a very strong area of resistance, so if I get a good bear candle through here, I will be taking it south. That's one I'm looking, and I'm noticing that it today so far that it, it's trying. I wonder what it says on the new caddy. No, there's no divergence. There's the New Zealand there. You see, sitting right there. Nothing. So back to the drawing board. New Zealand, Swiss franc, nothing. This is the key area here. If it gets back down into here again, I'd be interested in a buy. New Zealand JPY, very similar. There's your key inflection point right in there. So there's no trade. Just patient, stay out. New Zealand USD, looking to retest down in here. Be only a scalp at this stage, but it's come up here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 times it just has not been able to get going. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, but there's no momentum, there's no juice in the tank. I'd like to see juice in the tank, and then I would be looking at trading below the low of this candle here. USD caddy, nothing. I did jump in here, but when it started to peter out, I just got out of it, a couple of pips. US Swissies, nothing. I'd really like a significant drop in this, and I'd love to buy it from down in here, but market doesn't give me what I want. USD JPY, took this little trade on earlier last week at the beginning, and Jen just got stopped out here for a few pips. I was keeping my stop loss at break even once it got there, and very tight. Only had about 20 pips on it, but no trade again. Gold still stuck in this range between around about 17.15, 17.20 and 17.50. A break of 17.50. I've got pending orders sitting above here, and I will take that break again. But we could, who knows? But that's where gold's at. Silver, very similar. That was the trade there. It was a great trade, and that was the take profit area. So what we're looking at now, very simply, is waiting to see if we get some sort of pullback here or bottom out. It would be great if it bottomed out here at 1700. Then I'd put another pending order here for a break higher. Other than that, we're going to see it come down. Now, the US dollar index is interesting. Turned last week, and it started to make its way back up and retest. And this is key, this area in here, between 9,900. A break above here, watch your US crosses, because the US dollar begin to show some strength if it breaks here and starts to move up again and retest this. That's when you want be looking for some good moves south on pairs like Aussie USD, New Zealand USD, Euro USD, possibly the USD CAD would show a good move north as well. So keep an eye on that. Oil, there's nothing there, and that's it. You know, I can't just make trades that don't exist. So that's it for the week. I'll keep you posted in the chat room if there's any new trades coming up, and I'll actually try to let you know as I'm getting in. I often, you know, I'll come back to the charts after being away and find that opinion orders come in and that. But any market orders or instant entries I will post and put a diagram in there as well. So stay safe out there. I trust you and your families are safe from this COVID thing and you are keeping away from it. In regards to trading, please protect your capital. Take your profit when it's there, and you know, be thankful with just consistent little wins. They build up, and then when the bigger moves come and you're able to get one or two of them during this quieter time in the market, that's great too. That's just a bonus. So we'll talk to you in the chat room. Cheers.